Okay, now we're talking about safe topics, I guess. Topics where, like, the intrusive thoughts don't come out.
Safe for work.
Safe sex.
Maybe some of the intrusive thoughts come out.
I mean, you teach at middle school, so.
What if they get, like, condom-flavored condoms?
I never got the
Condom
safe sex
flavored?
talk.
Condom flavor.
The what?
The safe sex talk in school. Did they do that for you guys?
I don't think I ever had like a sex ed class.
Yeah. 7th grade?
I had sex ed, but it was more about the anatomy.
Yeah.
I specifically remember this one kid. He would just ask like 5 questions in a row about like the anatomy of the vagina. And back then I thought he was weird, but now I'm like, okay, this guy was taking advantage of his education.
I need to know.
He's on to something. It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing. He's like, he's on to something.
Well, like in 7th and 8th grade.
He knows how to make women come now. For sure.
In 7th and 8th grade, my science teacher was a preacher, so I don't know if that was really a topic he wanted to cover. When we talked about evolution, the only thing he made us do was watch Croods.
What's Croods?
It was the first one. We were in middle school. So like, it was only one. Our entire evolution unit was just us watching Croods.
Do you believe in evolution?
I mean, like, I believe in like micro. Like, things change over time, but I don't believe that's like the Earth's billions of years old.
Well, yeah, I guess we already talked about this.
Like, I believe, like, I mean, like, people try to like backtrack it, like almost like not like a forecast, but like they're trying to predict, like, you know how Stephen Hawking's idea was that like things, the law of entropy, right? That things tended toward chaos. So if you reverse the clock, it was at one point where everything was in order and it was one thing, and then it scattered into a bunch of different things. And so that was his way of like forecasting backward, I guess, and to one single element. If you follow that track, then yeah, that seems reasonable, but I think it was cut off here. Like, it started here when it was already pretty diversified, and then things change over time. So I guess that sense I believe in like microevolution, but I don't believe that you can backtrack it to billions of years old.
So we started with lots of chaos already, and now we're just kind of...
Well, not lots. I mean, it was in order before Adam and Eve took of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So and then that's when...
It's unraveling super fast.
I don't even want to say super fast. Like, I mean, like, define fast. Like, it's pretty relative.
Well, how old do you think the Earth is?
Somewhere around 6,000 to 8,000 years old.
So that's like nothing compared to Hawking's theory, which is like billions.
Right? Yeah, because basically like Hawking is like, okay, we're out here, and it's going out. So if we backtrack it, it was a point where it was unity, and then there had to be some event where it scattered, and that's what his idea of Big Bang. I'm just saying, instead of it going billions of years old to one singularity, it was here, and then things change. But like, he just backtracked it too far.
Yeah, I can't hate, because I have a rule. It's called the 95-5 rule. I can only max trust something to 95%. So to me, there's still a 5% chance that all scientists are liars and they make things up.
I mean, I don't even know.
Like,
I'll put it more than 5%.
They feed it to the masses.
Just like
it's just a big prank.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on, heliocentrism? You did not figure that out, bro. Come on.
There's just a group chat that we don't know about.
I mean, you gotta be critical.
It's on Snapchat, so like no one knows.
Yeah,
everything disappears within a day.
What if he told them that there were these tiny critters called bacteria?
Like, as critical as you are of religion, you should be just as critical of science.
Yo, I got a good one,
people
guys.
are flawed, so like, and people have motives to falsify data to prove their hypothesis. Because that's how they got funded.
With some of the more popular theories, like, they have evidence based on things that they saw that you can see too, and then like come to your own conclusions.
Politicians are lizards.
They are.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. I think science is just as flawed, and it's a leap of faith regardless of wherever you end up believing the origin story, whether religion, whatever science you might believe. It's just as much of a leap of faith in any direction.
Dude, nothing is real. We're in a simulation. That's why you got to go off the hinge and make the most of this simulation. You guys are just code.
So who's running the simulation then? Yeah, tell me about the ones running the simulation. What are they trying to get out of us?
Apparently, lots of suffering.
Yeah, when can I get the non-depression update?
Yeah, why couldn't I gotten like the Ryan Reynolds life path?
Why is it evolution or is it just software updates?
There was actually, I read this book about this, and it was like, the book's about how this asteroid comes down to Earth, and then if you eat parts of the asteroid, you get like superpowers, and the more of the asteroid you ate, the more powerful you'd be. And then at the end, one girl gets the power to travel like between dimensions, and one of the dimensions is, it's like a portway. It's basically like a portway to like a chat with the people who are running the simulation. That's a big plot twist. The whole world is a simulation. So she gets the power and she can chat with like the people who made the simulation. And it was pretty interesting.
So
I forgot the series
it's
name.
basically Marvel. Because in Marvel you have the Infinity Stones, right?
Yeah.
But like when you watch Loki, the Infinity Stones, like in Kang's realm, because Kang runs the timeline and like keeps it in order through the Time Variance Authority, and like they literally had the Infinity Stones in like a paper drawer, like they're just rocks to them, but they're running a simulation of the timeline in order to keep it ordered so it doesn't scatter off into these branches.
So Kang created the whole universe and everything?
Yeah, like so, like at the time, like because like I think we'll like so Secret Wars, and like some of those other like new Avengers movies that are going to come later in like 2025, 2026, etc. They're going to explain all that like backstory, but basically Kang came in, like so he's a long descendant of Reed Richards, and apparently I think he has also a descendant of Dr. Doom as well, which is kind of interesting.
Reed Richards and Dr. Doom fucked.
No.
Okay.
Like
I was about to get back into Marvel.
So Kang's long lost ancestor is Reed Richards.
Right.
Kang's name is Nathaniel Richards.
So Dr. Doom had a kid with a descendant of Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how it goes. But so Nathaniel Richards, like he shows up in many forms throughout the timeline. Like he shows up as Kang. He's basically like a souped up Iron Man.
That's a porno plot I could get.
So he's like very, so like he's very smart and like he take like
Reed shows as
like,
Richard Dr. Doom.
Kang could never be who he was had it not been for Iron Man's technology. Like when Iron Man like discovered time travel and Endgame, that's what led to Kang.
Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Doom have cosmic level sex.
I don't know about all that.
Reed Richards cries after emotional cream pie with Dr. Doom.
Sex so good they go through different dimensions.
All right, I'm checking out this conversation.
Interdimensional cream pie.
We're not recording, are we?
Yeah, we are.
So it's like in that book they're like she's going through the dimensions and she reaches one where you can see like the creators and it's just Frog and Toad. They're just like, what the fuck you doing? They're like, Frog, they're onto us.
Kyrie is their
Delete
messiah.
us and we all just die. Our file gets deleted.
Kyrie is their messiah. He reposted Toad and Frog, and he gets canceled.
What did you do today, Toad? Toad. I coded the Reed Richards Dr. Doom fan fiction.
Oh man.
Okay.
But yeah, so like Nathaniel Richards shows up in many forms. So he utilizes Iron Man's technology of time travel, and he makes like all these cool gadgets and stuff. Like he doesn't have any real powers of his own per se, but he shows up as like King Tut. He shows up as like several other characters throughout like Marvel timeline, and then there was a variant that showed up in Loki as He Who Remains, and he was like the benevolent one, and so like, yeah, he appeared in Loki. I still need to watch Ant-Man so I can see how Kang is being engaged into the storyline, because Kang apparently is like, so Kang's the main one, and he's like he's the bad guy, and He Who Remains is like a benevolent variant of him. He's like, you don't want to see the real guy. So I'm really excited about it. I heard bad reviews, but I'm not gonna.
Ant-Man. Yeah, you shouldn't judge a movie until you watch it. Lots of movies with bad reviews that are like entertaining to watch.
It's just It's tough to top Thanos. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like you gotta let Kang develop for a little while. I mean, like Thanos didn't show up in any end credit scene until what movie? Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe?
He showed up after the first Avengers.
Yeah,
First Avengers?
but it was like really like I don't know. You could barely see his face. Like it was like very mysterious.
Yeah, it was like a really crappy quality too. Like they didn't really like perfect him, but then like maybe after the second Avengers movie.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy, he like
Guardians
made a
of the
full body appearance. Like
And
he
that-
was sitting on.
and
the
that's when he
throne.
made the gauntlet.
Yeah. Oh, did they? Yeah, that was after Ultron. Like he got.
Yeah.
They needed that Josh
Ultron
Brolin jawline.
had, yeah.
It was built up so well after like just
Brolin. Josh Brolin.
Are you trying to say it correctly? Or are you like needing
No. I said they needed that Josh Brolin jawline. Josh Brolin.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to flex your jawline, buddy?
Let's get to the main event. What? No, but it is really good.
Check out his Insta.
Avi underscore Singh 05.
Yo, Frog and Toe, can you like reprogram his jawline real quick?
Cheat code.
It's like pixelated.
Pixelated? Like a Japanese dick?
You took that from Tom Segura. I don't want to hear it.
I did. He said it and it reminded me.
Yeah, and Tom Segura was talking about how like every race is racist and everything.
Well,
and
yeah,
like,
we literally watched that special like last year twice.
Yeah, he's like, Japanese are at the top, which is weird because their genitals are blurry.
Yeah, I know.
That's right. Is that your favorite special?
It's really good. I don't know if I put Anthony Jeselnik as my favorite, honestly. Thoughts and Prayers. Anthony Jeselnik, Thoughts and Prayers was probably my favorite. But then like I put Tom Segura up there as like my favorite stand-up comedian. And I put Bill Burr and then Bert Kreischer. I'm not a big fan. Like Theo Von's hilarious on podcasts, but I can't. His stand-up's a little odd. I can't roll with stand-up. Who else have I seen? I mean, Aziz Ansari's kind of good.
I actually haven't seen any Aziz Ansari stand-up.
They're kind of good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he still has that kind of annoying voice, but
that's his thing, though.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever seen Master of None?
I watched a couple episodes. I couldn't get into it.
It takes a bit, but I mean, I kind of liked it. And then the last season, they just like didn't even focus on him. They focused on like one of the side characters most of the show, and it wasn't really funny anymore. It was like just serious, and I'm like, this isn't the show I started off on.
Fell off, just like how some of these players that we're going to talk about will fall off in 5 to 6 years, maybe. Let's get to the main event of this podcast. Who is the most talented NBA player? Should we define talent before we get into this?
Yeah. What's your definition?
My definition is 75% what you were born with and 25% how hard you worked.
Okay.
So what the gifts you were born with have more say than like how hard you work and what skills you developed.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to have that little 25% because it's like some dudes, they've got all the skill in the world, but they're role players that get 9 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't show off talent without that hard work sometimes.
I mean, there's like the parable of the talents, right? Or there was a man who had 5 talents and was thankful for them and utilized them to like do better for the world, and he got 10 talents after that. And then it was the person that was blessed with 3 talents, was thankful for them, got 6 talents. And it was the person with 1 talent. And I was like, why they get more talents than me? That's not fair. And then God takes away that talent because he wasn't grateful for it.
That's how I'd feel if I was a civilian in the Marvel world. Or any superhero universe, for that instance.
You should be envious of the superheroes.
I would 100... Yeah. I'd be so jealous of the superheroes. And they're fucking up my... Like, the block. All the time.
You'd be eating the weirdest shit to get some power or something.
Yeah, I know. Like,
I'm sure there'll be many scam artists and grifters that'll be like, yo, like putting YouTube channels and be like, dude, all you have to do to get all the girls in the world is just eat this one special onion that you have to plant yourself with my seed that I sell on my website for $40.
You still got dudes selling Hulk SARMs, but like in a totally different context.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine the protein powders that just...
there was some mugs in Hawkeye that said like Thanos was right or something like that. In Hawkeye.
Shit, that would definitely be man. Those are the same scammers that were selling me Clash of Clan gems in middle school, bro.
But yeah, I think that parable of the talents, I think that's the Matthew 25 principle, which basically states that like to those that have, more will be given, and to those that don't have, more will be taken. And that kind of explains the Pareto distribution, which is like the top like 1 to like 5% have like half the wealth, and then it's just an inverse relationship where like most of the people have like less than like 10%, but like the top 5% have 50% of wealth. Like that's just how to it's just in any natural state.
Yeah.
Like it falls into that Pareto distribution where you take a percentile and they have accumulated this much, and then it's just an inverse relationship.
Yeah. Do you know what? 15% of the psychopaths, 80% of the orphans.
Is it 15%? I thought it was like 5.
I think so. There's various laws. So there's like one with 15, one with 20. I guess now there's one with 5.
In terms of psychopath population,
It's also true in the NBA. It's like
we're talking about NBA.
it's well, I'm just saying the general law. It's like a low percentage of players score like more than 60-70% of the points. That's like ever scored. So yeah.
Yeah. Can you believe that only 1% of the population can dunk?
Yeah, I could believe that.
I'm one of them.
Good job. Of the world's population, American population.
I'm not quite sure where. I'm not sure like if it was U.S. or America or the world.
In
but
Guatemala, bro. Them short motherfuckers ain't know that shit.
the Filipino people that are all like
I love my
5'5" and
Guatemalans.
below.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. But
You can wipe out all of South America. Their sport is close to the ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got a mess.
Got a mess. Okay.
I'll freshen up on
What
this.
do you define as talent, Mr. Tahoe?
I define it as potential. Your physical, the combination of your physical gifts, plus the ability to develop skills, and how much potential that gives you.
Okay. And yours?
I'll have to roll with Joe a little more heavily on this. I mean, kind of like what I was talking about with the parable of talents is how much you utilize the gifts that you were given. So like you first have to have the gifts that you were given, and then you have to utilize them in order to be talented, per se.
Developing the skills utilizes your brain, which is also another physical attribute. So technically,
Yeah, but what NBA player is really smart? Like, come on. Other than Jaylen Brown?
A lot of them?
like
I mean,
basketball IQ wise? Like,
no, just general IQ. I mean, I know Jaylen
But
Brown
what does
is
that
really
have anything
smart.
to do with like playing,
LeBron,
like being
Chris
talented in
Paul.
basketball?
I mean, like,
CJ McCollum.
what did their brain have to do with the game? Is what I'm saying.
Because you're
Basketball IQ.
yeah, basketball IQ.
Yeah, but I'm talking
You're,
about IQ in
you
general.
really watch
But that's
filming,
nothing related
learning
to, like,
defenses, learning offenses, reading.
Yeah.
The coach. Yeah.
There's some very
I mean, a
smart-
lot of it just comes with
Extremely.
a lot of it's just experience. But I mean, I know like people like watch film too, like some of the top like hyper successful ones.
Dude, have you ever seen have you seen that video of Donovan Mitchell breaking down like some of his plays? Dude, it is unreal. Like the amount of like details he has to process, and then he makes like a decision for each of those details. You're wrong about this. It takes a certain type of brain to be an athlete like that.
But I mean, that gets developed over time. I mean, they've been playing since
Yeah,
like, they've been in the lab since they were 3 years old. Like I'm saying, like I mean, like yeah, I'm all right. Sure, they do develop that IQ over time, but at the same time, it's like what they put into prep work for their whole life through experience. They have the instinct. They put it into preparation. During practice, they're doing a form shooting. They're focusing on their form. They're focusing on the elbow in. They're focusing on hand in a cookie jar. They're focusing on the spin of the ball and how it leaves their hand. They're focusing on all those little things during practice and during their drills. And then by the time it's game time, they've already put into work. It's all muscle memory. They don't think in the game. They literally just act on instinct in the game.
Okay, but you can make the same argument for the physical gifts. You have to develop those physical gifts.
Yeah.
So then why would you not count brain or IQ as talent?
I mean, like I guess I was just conflating basketball IQ with general IQ. That's why I was conflating.
I'd say, yeah, because it is.
I mean, like other than Jaylen Brown, what NBA player is going to get through Harvard? That's actually good in basketball. Like people that you say have high basketball IQ, how many of them are getting through like a top tier school like that?
I think a high percentage of them because
I'm not
there's
quite
just
sure.
so much they have to know and process.
I mean, like Curry graduated from Davidson, James Harden, Arizona State. I mean, like mediocre schools.
Harvard's a bad example.
Like I don't know if these NBA players can endure the degrees that we took.
I think they definitely could.
I don't know.
Easily.
I don't know. I think they get
they
bored.
could.
I think they get bored and they get tired
Does
of
this
it.
have anything to do with the most talented in the NBA question, though?
Well, I mean, like
Only 1% of the U.S. population can go through Harvard anyway. It's like,
Yeah, and Harvard's
like, what's
but
going
like
on?
a Georgia Tech degree, dude. Do you understand? like, do you know how fast they have to like make decisions and then like I already said this, but anyway, let's just cut this.
That's
out.
all an instinct.
Let's talk about talent. I disagree with you on this one.
But I mean, having a great instinct is also a talent.
It's not all
Okay, well,
instinct.
all I was saying was I was conflating general IQ with basketball IQ. That's all I was doing. So basketball IQ does count.
Yeah.
But in terms of talent, I don't know if that's an innate gift.
And I wouldn't even call.
Because that's why I was conflating the two. I was conflating general IQ because like general IQ is more of something that you're kind of blessed with, but like basketball IQ is something you have to use develop over time.
I think what
through
you're calling
experience.
general IQ is not IQ, it's one specific type of IQ. Well, all you need to get through college is a good memory.
I mean, college isn't the only metric either. Like, I mean, just in terms of career success and like that kind of thing. Being able to think.
But you were talking about college. All you need to get through college is to have a good memory and be able to regurgitate it.
That was just one metric I was.
On a test.
That was just one easy metric I was
If you can
able
do that,
to recall
you
to.
can
But there's
get a
also
degree
street smarts and there's
from-
common sense, that kind of thing too. But like that was just like one metric I was pulling from.
I would say comments.
I mean,
Whatever.
I don't think basketball IQ is a talent. I think it's something you acquire over experience, and it doesn't take the most genius person, like from birth, in order to have a good basketball IQ.
I don't know. I disagree.
I
But-
disagree as well.
So you guys want to go like top 3,
Yeah.
and then we'll start with 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I didn't even. All right. Oh yeah, you go first.
Okay. So my 3 is Zion Williamson,
Okay.
What other Zion is there?
the National Park.
We're talking about basketball players.
So like currently playing.
Currently playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that one.
And like you said, with potential. So LeBron's not on my list because LeBron's done everything.
Oh yeah. Why did you change my list based off that?
I mean, you don't have to change your list.
Wait, so
Alright.
potential has to be a part of it?
Well, that was your guys' definition.
Why
I didn't put potential on mine.
Why meant like potential on like any given night, like the potential. Whatever.
I didn't put potential on mine.
All right.
Okay, well,
all right. What's your
we'll
number 3 then?
I
Yeah.
mean, we had like 0 minutes of preparation time.
Yeah,
We'll just figure
that's
this out as we go. My number 3 is Zion.
All right. I like.
So,
Okay.
so it's my turn?
Yeah.
3, I'll put... Jason Tatum.
Ooh, dude, I forgot about him.
I put Jason Tatum.
Number 3.
I'm changing my 3 to Jason Tatum.
What? Well, I got 2 and 1 in the chamber, so...
I mean, number 3. I think I'm Giannis. He's either 3 or 2. I'll just go Giannis with number 3 just because I don't have time to think about it for long. I'll just go Giannis.
My number 2 is Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Fair enough.
He's still in his prime.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Number 2, I put Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
He's so diverse in offense. Like he doesn't have the gifts of like size in order to play like great defense, but he's just so talented, so skilled on offense. Just like he can attack anywhere on the floor from 3-point, mid range. He can finish over the biggest defenders.
Okay.
He's so diverse. I put Kyrie too.
My number 2 is Kevin Durant as well.
Okay.
Damn, I'm waiting for number 1.
No explanation needed.
So I actually fucked up mine. KD was my number 1, and then Giannis was my 2. But whatever. Giannis at 1. Most talented. Don't care.
Interesting. Yeah, I put KD at 1.
So no Giannis.
Nope.
See, my number 1 is LeBron still. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just... There's no area. I don't know. He's just perfected the game.
He has.
He can do everything.
Everything at a high level. Yeah.
Physically, mentally.
I mean, honorable
Passing, scoring, rebounding,
honorable mention. I'll put Damian Lillard.
transition offense.
I put Damian Lillard as an honorable mention.
So I think you like the scorers.
Yeah, personally, I would disagree with Kyrie.
I mean, defense is honestly more athleticism than actual skill.
But gifts are what I consider to be talent. So
I mean, athleticism you just develop. Other than height.
Develop
Develop.
athleticism. What?
Yeah,
Other-
you do
other
have
than-
to develop it, but to be in the NBA, you have to be born.
Yeah, 80% of it
With a
comes
certain-
from.
Outside of height, anything else you can basically control with the right nutrition and the right
That is not true.
What
Training.
the heck? No.
the right nutrition, the right training,
No.
the
Okay,
right
so-
environment.
Stop.
So height, I would put under nature, and then everything else with athleticism, I would put as nurture. Like,
No.
like I mean, like you see all these kids with like terrible like upbringings, like very like hard struggles, and they're all very athletic. I mean, like they can't change their height, but outside that, I mean, they're strong, they're fast, they're
So not all of
they're
them.
agile.
Not all of them, but then if that was true, you'd attribute that to the gifts they were born with, since they couldn't get that training. They couldn't
Well, is
get
that is that
couldn't get
genetic?
that nutrition.
Is that genetic? Is that nature or is that nurture? Because those are different things.
It's a combination of both, but the minimum
I
requirement.
just said they're different things, and you're saying they're both.
I think
I'm
it's
saying
just
it's
their
a
mental
combination.
fortitude. I think you're just generalizing just
Yeah.
based off what you see. Like a lot of them don't make like you just don't see the ones that don't make it, which is like a gazillion people.
No, but what I'm saying is that like like you can't control your height, but you can get the right nutrition and you can get the right weight training.
You can control your vert and speed to like a very certain like degree. You can only like,
If you train hard enough, you can.
no, you can't.
If you
Then
train
everyone
hard.
would be running 4.3s at the combine.
No, because it's hard to do. It takes effort. It takes hard work.
No, you can't reach it. Some people just physically can't reach it. You can't reach it. You can't run a 4.3. I can't run a 4.3.
If I train,
You cannot run. Oh my god,
God,
no.
if I train well enough,
No.
I don't think I'm missing anything genetically that keeps me from a 4.3.
Yeah, you are.
All right, what genetically? What am I missing?
The ability
do you
to run
know-
a
do you know what
4.3.
You're not explaining it. You're not explaining it.
Okay,
You just-
explain.
you- when you were it's like your genetics. It controls like your body structure, the way your muscle fibers develop. Like, are gonna be more fast twitch, slow twitch, the way your. I think
Yeah, your
it's
muscle
like
fibers. Yeah.
with your bone
You can
structure,
develop that.
right? You're gonna be better.
All right,
at
all right.
certain
Develop to be faster than me.
athletic
I mean,
activities.
if I took the time and I worked hard at it, I could be faster than you.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, like here's a real question. Is it?
What? I mean,
Is that why y'all saying
I'm
that?
not responding to that,
Yes or no question.
but
Are you saying we're saying if it's genetics? That's basically your question.
Like, is
Yeah.
this something that I can't control?
You can like help your like you can get faster, but to a certain degree, you definitely cannot pass.
I've got a ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, there are old linemen that are 300 pounds that can run four
They're
fours.
physical freaks of nature. There's
Yeah.
so many other 300 pounders that are fat as fuck that can't do shit.
I mean, it takes hard work to do, but it's attainable.
But it's
You
not.
can't work hard enough to get taller.
Dude,
You
if
can't work
everyone-
hard enough to get shorter.
If everyone could work hard enough to be a pro athlete, then everyone would.
God damn.
But it's hard work, so people don't do it. That's why it's hard. That's why it's hard.
No.
But if you do it, you'll get there.
Uh,
It's attainable. I mean, look at John Morant. You see how fast he is? He's a twig. He can
What?
fly. John Morant's a twig.
He was but yeah, those are his
Okay.
physical gifts he was born with.
he's a twig
No, he developed
compared to NBA players, but he's still lots of lean muscle, and just
He was still
explosive
yamming in high
power.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that like outside, like height you can't control, but everything else you can. If you work hard enough, you can control that. You can put in the hours in the gym. You could
I
get
disagree.
the right nutrition.
I would
You can get the right nutrition.
and also there's also the question of durability. So let's say theoretically everyone could train to run that speed. Not everyone's body is going to be built for the intense training that it would take to reach those levels of athleticism.
Yeah.
I rolled my ankles playing at the Georgia State Rec Center.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not making it to the NBA.
Okay, so all right, what are some
like,
limitations?
just on durability alone.
What are some limitations
Or
that prevent you from getting a 4.4?
I mean, it just
the fat, like the twitch muscle, like your muscle fibers just don't. You just don't have that burst.
You
don't have
can't, you
that-
can't develop
okay.
it.
Do you know why?
No,
Okay.
you will never be
Yeah.
able to run a 4.3 just because you just don't have that physical like muscle fiber burst, that the twitch that you just need.
Yeah.
Not with the right nutrition, not with the right training.
No, that was a body system that was developed over millions of years of evolution.
Yeah.
So that do you know why Kenya always has like good runners in the Olympics? It's because the Kenyan people, for like, hundreds of thousands of years at least, they were running all the time to hunt, collect food, travel, whatever, right? So their bodies adapted for the sole purpose of running, and now you see Kenyan athletes, they're running to compete in these sports.
Yeah.
But that's where the foundation came from.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
my ancestors they weren't running, that's for sure.
You think all those Jamaicans
Not like the Kenyan. Yeah, I know.
You think all those Jamaicans are working harder than the American runners?
Okay, so we're gonna compare
Yeah,
nature.
literally.
We're gonna compare nature versus nurture. So nature would be the genetics of the Kenyan or Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
Let's say I adopt a Kenyan as a baby.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they running 4-3?
Are you gonna train them?
In my household?
Are you gonna help train them?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about like long distance runners. We're not talking about 40-yard dash speeds.
Right, Jamaicans are more well known for like short distance.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say I get him a trainer.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, if they
assuming he had that like the
Like
right
not all
genetic.
Jamaicans can do it, but it's
Yeah.
like he has probably a higher percentage than like
Higher chance.
my family background. If you were to adopt a kid from my
If it was just nurture, right? America, we have the best trainers in the world. We have the best sports science. So why doesn't America dominate every single event at the Olympics?
soccer, why do we suck ass at soccer?
Because we're so comfortable in a society that we don't have the mental fortitude
No.
to push through.
There will always be people that will try to become
Let me ask you
athletes.
this.
And they'll put in the work.
Let me ask you this. Is Bronny going to be the greatest player ever play?
On this
Ronnie?
trajectory, probably not.
What about Deuce? They have all the resources in the world. Deuce is literally getting shots up now at 4 years old.
It's the mental fortitude.
Because they're growing up too
You can
comfortably.
see it even in tennis. You
But
know
they
why?
have the gifts.
Yeah, but they're growing up so comfortably. It takes the mental fortitude. That's the nurture part. There has to be the nurture part.
So even Bronny, he's LeBron's son, but he's not. He doesn't
He's
have
too
doesn't
famous
have that
now.
genetic foundation like LeBron.
He's too famous now.
Isn't he like 6'4"?
Bronny?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 6'4".
I mean, Bryce is 6'8".
Yeah, Bryce is tall.
Bryce might have gotten those genes.
But like it just takes some mental fortitude.
And you can watch Bronny play, and you can be like, okay, he at least has what it takes to be like a solid role player in the NBA.
He has the physical attributes.
Yes, LeBron gave him that.
Yeah.
That wasn't nurture.
Broke a dunk in like ninth grade. He's dunking.
That didn't take training though. That was nurture.
That's with like everything. But we're arguing that it's a majority of nature.
I don't think it's
Like,
majority.
you're not running a 4-3. I still like you're not running a 4-3.
All right, take Dwayne Wade's child. What are they doing?
That's a
I don't
vague
know.
question.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Dwayne Wade Dwayne Wade
Texting
passed the
it.
genetics, right? So why aren't they in the NBA?
Why aren't a lot of great athletes?
We're not
like,
saying nurture
something
doesn't
like-
Because it has something to do
Because
with
there's
nurture.
so much competition. You're acting like there's not so many.
But
great
you're saying
athletes
it's
in this
majority
world.
nature.
It is.
No, it's not majority.
Yes.
Yes.
It's 50-50, if not more nurture. You have to utilize the talents in order to benefit
I
from
don't think
them.
it's 50-50. I'd go 70-30.
70-30 which way?
Nature 70, nurture 30.
Oh.
I think it depends on what sport too.
Oh, for sure.
I'd go 75 nurture.
Like basketball, I think it's like 80% nature, 20% nurture.
True.
Even more than like
I
other
agree.
sports.
Outside of height, I go
Soccer, 55% nature, 60% nature, 40% nurture.
outside of height, I'd put 75% nurture, 25% height. I mean, look at Muggsy Bogues. He was 5'4", and he's a Hall of Famer. He didn't have the genetics to do it, but that was all nurture.
Why is Muggsy Bogues a Hall of Famer?
He's a Hall of Famer.
Who?
Or I need to verify that, but all right, Spud Webb.
Yeah.
Spud Webb.
Muggsy Bogues never got serious minutes. And-
Spud Webb. 5'11".
Yeah, he's got the vert. Like
Exactly. He was born with that.
That was nurture. If you don't do anything with the talent, you're not going to
Well, he was
develop
just
it.
lacking in height, but he had other nature gifts that helped him like go that high.
Also, if you look at the trending, like the height data, the trending height data of the NBA, like it's just the average height of the NBA slowly getting, like the average height of point guards slowly getting higher. Like there's not gonna be 5-10 people in the NBA in like 10-20 years.
Oh yeah.
They're just not gonna exist.
I mean that's part of like due to like microevolution and the fact that we're getting better nutrition, and that's getting passed down.
That's something that takes a lot more time than how long it takes the NBA to develop.
I mean, it's been 100 years since the NBA has been, it's 76.
Well, like I don't know.
It's been
Well,
76
basketball
years.
started over 100 years ago, but yeah, like NBA's been around for like over 75 years now.
Well, that's why the average person is getting taller now. We're like,
I mean, athletes are just getting better developed too.
yeah, I mean, like the science is getting better, and the chemistry, the nutrition. Yeah, I mean, it's getting better. Like, yeah, I mean, there's like third graders having mixtapes now. It's ridiculous. There's no reason why third graders should be having mixtapes. They're
If you wanna make
disrespectful.
music, make
They're
music.
No,
Wait,
not.
does this have anything to do with
No, they don't. No. Like it'll be like third graders like in AAU, they're hooping. Like there's a big kid that like posts someone up and like makes a layup and he like flexes on him and he like makes a 3-pointer and he's doing like a little 3-point celebration and there's like this little tiny white boy just like talking crap to everybody. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like
You guys think Tinder girls are responsible for the average height increase in the NBA?
Jeez, all right, change the topic.
They're just selecting out
Like the NBA players that.
the shorter dudes making like that 6'1" to 6'3" gene pool.
That's a
just more
completely
competitive.
different topic. Completely different topic. There's way more to go. There's way more factors that go into that. I mean, like, how long has Tinder been around? Like, prominently, like.
Decade, probably.
Yeah, that's why I
15
said 10 years, 10, 15 years. Yeah, that's not a long enough time for that trend to happen. Although, unless they're like you and, like, add a couple inches.
Don't you add a couple inches too?
Whoa, that is not true. I am 6'1".
Hey, you add to your height too.
What? No one adds to
what do you mean?
anyone's
I
height.
was talking to him.
Wait, all right, how tall am I?
Player 6'1".
6'2".
You're 6'1".
I am 6'2".
So if we measured you, it would reach 6'2".
I'm 6'1" and 5/8.
I'm no.
Now we're
If you round to the nearest
You're
inch, that's 6'2".
Now we're changing the
You're,
story.
you're like between 6'2" and 6'3". I'm 6'1".
Maybe.
What is so confusing about this? We measured this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there are people that lie. Like, I mean, Max.
So I'm between 5'9". I'm a 5'9".
You go 5'10".
In Max Preps, Colin Granger was 6'10" when he was really like
Then I got no
6'8".
excuse for not pulling. Never mind. You're on a different subject.
You probably need to bleep out some of these names.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. Will Tinder girls be responsible for the average height increase in the NBA?
Okay, NBA, that's different. No, because I mean, NBA players aren't using Tinder.
True.
You're not,
But
you're not using it.
no, what I'm saying is like they get the taller guys. They have taller children. You know, you've got. There's just gonna be some people that make it to the NBA. They just had two parents who just didn't have any affiliation with the NBA, and they just happened to birth a tall child.
Yeah.
Who had the talent to go pro. Yeah. Possibly.
I don't think Tinder has anything to do with that.
Just a hypothesis.
Like what like anyone even close, even like an agent to a player, how many of them are actually using Tinder?
What?
Virtually none.
You didn't hear what I said.
Virtually none. You're saying that Tinder has an effect on the height of NBA players. You're saying that there's some kind of natural selection pressure on the NBA gene pool to get taller. And I don't think they have any relation. Because what anyone even close to NBA stature, whether it's an agent, whether it's even the janitor at the arena, whether it's the photographer, they're not using Tinder.
Well, I have another like.
You don't know the janitor doesn't use Tinder.
Okay, fine, maybe a janitor, but
More evidence to like debunk your 75% nurture theory. Like, how many players in the NBA are under 6 feet tall?
well, I said outside of height.
Okay, how many players in the NBA can jump 35 inch for?
But is that nature or is that nurture?
Okay, well, you said only
You
one.
can develop your jump.
To a certain degree.
You get more flexible. You hit the gym. You get your coordination right.
Yeah.
That's stuff you develop. That's not like I mean I'm not saying it's like 100% nurture. Like there is some natural aspects of that. But you're saying majority it's not fair like outside of height you're saying that like let's say everyone was the same height. Let's say everyone was 6'6". You still think that you're at a disadvantage to these NBA players.
Wait, if I was 6'6"?
If everyone in the world was 6'6", you think you still have a disadvantage because of all these muscle fiber twitches and all this crap.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know what type of 6'6" I would be.
I don't think that.
There's different types of 6'6".
Yeah.
You see all the 6'8" guys? How many 6'8" guys are like LeBron? Built like LeBron.
Well, that's because LeBron developed it over decades.
No, if you look at his physique,
He was scrawny coming into the league at 18, and now he's buff. He
There's a
developed
reason
that
why
over
He
decades.
was the chosen one in high school, and like it's not like he had the most
Wasn't
expensive
scrawny.
training program.
He developed.
he wasn't like Justin Holiday in high school.
He was already.
He was very built for his age.
Yeah, he was developed. That's stuff that you can. That's something that
can't
you
develop
can
that, man.
nurture.
You can't just go from like 6'8" super skinny to being LeBron by the time you're 18.
You get the right nutrition. You get the right
You think Shaq,
weight training regimen. You get the right training.
Shaq is like 90% nature.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He even admits that he would be
height.
eating Big Macs and everything. Not even
That
height.
made him fat.
It's his weight. It's his strength.
The weight came for the Big Macs.
There's a bunch of guys like Shaq's height in the NBA, and they're not Shaq.
Well, I mean, there are
like
genetic proclivities to be able to like gain weight and stuff. Like for me, like I'm very metabolic, and I mean, like I think I got it from my dad because my dad was also pretty skinny.
So then why wouldn't it be the same for muscle? And then if the muscle controls your athleticism, why wouldn't you attribute that to nature?
No, I'm saying there's a wide range. There's a wide range that you can take on. You have a certain mean. You have like genetics give you a mean, and some people have a higher mean than others genetically. But the variation between the means aren't that high. But the range in which you can change it can. So you can surpass someone with hard work. With hard work, you can surpass someone with more genetics than you.
You can, but okay, yeah, we're just hitting the same points.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is basically if you can control your destiny or not. And y'all are having a point that it's mostly stuff you can't control, and I think that there's stuff that you can do.
We're talking about like the NBA, not in general.
Yeah.
You can't just do it.
Yeah, I promise, Trey. You can still average 40 at your rec league if you wanted to, for sure.
Well, that's just my mental state. I don't
But
take.
you're not
I don't.
averaging 4 in the NBA.
I don't take the shots. But I don't like. That's what's like. I didn't have the training to do that kind of thing. That's not what I was raised to do. I value my academics more than my athletics.
So if it's nature, okay. Then what do you have to? What's your take on a lot of NBA players? They grow up poor. They don't. They don't train. They don't have like that nutrition, like access to nutrition. All they do is play basketball. So
We were. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier. It was a had to mindset. That's their only way they were able to get out. They didn't have the school programs that we had to get into good schools. They had basketball. That was the only way that they're going to get out of their crappy situation, was through basketball. That was the only way they're going to get paid. That was the only way that college is going to pay for their education. Because we've been blessed enough financially to where we can afford to pay for our college, like from our families. That is.
I know, but what were they supposed to do? Just figure out how to be good at basketball?
Yes. In order to get through college, in order to do anything in life productive, they had that was their ticket. That was their proclivity. That's what they favored over other sports. That was their best chance at getting into college on a free scholarship. And then that progressed into their best chance of getting into the league. I'm saying a lot of it takes mental fortitude. I mean, think about Kobe. Like think about his upbringing. Like it takes some mental fortitude. It takes the environment. Like I mean, pressure makes diamonds, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's nature. No, sorry, nurture. That's nurture.
I mean, I think just think about like D tackles and like offensive linemen in football. Like that's all nature, right there. Not even height. It's the way like you.
You're gonna say all nature?
I mean, yeah.
All?
To become like in high school, like all those kids that become the linemen, they haven't been trained. Like that's physical. Like you're not just like assigned a lineman, you know?
Okay, now we're talking about football.
Yeah.
But we're talking about basketball.
But we were talking about all sports in general because you said that you could run a 4.3 if you trained.
I mean, I could be just as applicable in basketball, but you're talking about weight and all that kind of stuff too.
But that also applies to basketball. What's the difference?
No, because weight doesn't give you necessarily like an advantage. Like a scrawny person like KD can be just as impactful on the court as Jokic.
Weight gives Jokic and Luka support when they're backing down.
I mean, there are advantages to it. I mean, like
Shaq got a massive.
Like if KD took it seriously, he could probably put on some weight. I don't think that's outside of his genetic.
That would change his like playing style. No, it's just his body is suited for his playing style.
And that's why he keeps it that way. But if it was an advantage for KD to put on weight and he did hard work to attain it through the right nutrition and the right training, he could get more weight. I don't think it's 80% genetics.
I think that would affect his play more actually because that's just not naturally how his body would operate.
Okay, but what I'm saying is if it was more advantageous for him to do it, he could do it.
I think his abilities would decrease.
Okay, but that's why he's not doing it. But Luka's ability, it helps that Luka's skill set from what he's trained to do his whole life, it makes more sense to him for him to have a little bit more weight on him. So that's why he keeps the weight. That's why he doesn't do the cardio
how his body works
and
as
do
well.
nutrition.
That's what works for his body.
Yeah, but y'all are saying that it's stuff you can't control. I'm saying it's stuff you can control.
And you're saying like take height out of it. Height is not. It's you can't take height out of it too. It's
height's something you can't control.
Yeah, and that's nature. That takes into the percentage. Like Luca is 6'8". Like there is a, and he's like his body is not like he's a good body build for what he wants to do, and he's very skilled. He is very skilled.
But there are 6'8" people that are scrawny that can do just as well because that fits their playstyle more.
How many people in the world are 6'8"?
Well, we're talking about NBA here.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking about NBA.
Yeah, I know.
But like, you're saying 80% nurtures, so only 20% you can play with.
Yeah.
Only 20% you can change.
I mean, like it depends on the different player, but on average, yeah, I would say in the NBA for sure.
I don't
like Luka's definitely like lower, but like yeah, like I just said, Shaq's like 90%.
Yeah. Okay. This is the way I put it. It's like if Shaq was 6'2", he's not making it to the NBA.
If he was 6'2", that means that he'll be a smaller person, which means it'll be more advantageous for him to be faster. For him to be faster, it means he has to cut weight. He would cut the weight. He's genetically able to do that.
I can't gain weight to save my fucking life. That's just how that's my genetics, all right?
Okay,
you can't gain weight to save your life. That's just your genetics.
You having the right nutrition?
It doesn't. I would like damage my nutrition if I tried to like go against my nature.
And then the more if you're like naturally a skinny body type and you start gaining weight, your joints literally will start breaking down.
Well, it takes time to progress into that trend, but
right.
you adapt. Humans are really good at adapting.
It takes time. So like people with body types like us, it would take us like what, assuming you could safely start training at, I don't know.
But you're saying we're
17,
starting now.
18.
We're already 21, 22. We're starting now? Then yeah, like by the time we'll be 26. And then like we'll already be past like our prime in terms of like if we want to try out for a team. But like these people are doing it at a young age. So like kids are getting the exposure in high school through their AAU, like the circuit programs. They're getting exposure now when they're like 14, 15 before they have to make these drastic changes when it's too late.
There's so many more kids that have been nurtured better than Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, he's going number 1 overall. And there's nothing those other kids can do about it. That's
height.
Still nature. Why are you discounting it?
Yeah.
I'm saying outside of height because that's the one thing you can't control.
But that still should affect your percentages. Your percentages still don't.
That's still not 80-20. 80-20 is ridiculous.
I stand by it.
80-20 is...
He's the first overall pick because he is fucking... he can hit threes and he's 7'5".
Well, he can hit threes. Like, not a lot of 7'5" people can
he can hit threes like 90% of the fucking people trying to enter the draft.
That took training.
Yeah, I know. Like 90% of the other people entering the draft.
Like Shaq wasn't able to dribble like Wembanyama, but Wembanyama got trained and he knows how to dribble.
If it was like so much in your control, why aren't you in the NBA?
Because I chose to do other things, and I don't have the mental fortitude to work as hard as an.
You really think a bunch of middle schoolers were just like trained, like superiorly trained?
But it wasn't. It wasn't like I wanted to. Like for a lot of these people, I had to. It was the only way out. It was the only way. Like single mother doing everything and working 8 to 10 hours at work and then still providing and being home for the kid.
Obviously,
exactly.
They're not getting like the personal trainers.
Even if it is the only way out, they're not getting the trainers, the nutrition.
Well, like, it doesn't. I mean, like just because they don't have just because they don't have the right equipment and like a right basketball IQ. I mean, like think about Ja. Think about Ja Morant. Did Ja Morant have like NBA talent training him since he was 13?
Did he have like nutritionists when he was in high school?
He's scrawny as can be.
Yeah, and he's got a vert. He was fucking born with a massive vert.
But
can fucking jump out the gym.
But that was because of his. I feel like a lot of that can be changed based on your actions.
But not enough to put you in the NBA or the NFL.
For some like.
Well, the NBA is only 1%. The NBA is 1%. So if we're in like the let's say like all right, let's be a little careless with this. Let's say we're in the 60th percentile in America. I know. All right, actually, let's say we're in the 80th percentile in terms of athletics in America right now.
So okay.
The NBA is 1% of the world. The world.
Yeah.
And then they only get like 4 players from other countries. So like it's more like even like a slimmer percentage. So like even if we're in the 80th percentile in America in terms of athletics, we're still 20% away. That's too much. That's too much of a gap.
Do you mean we're in the 20th percentile? Is that what you mean?
I'll be honest.
Like 99th percentile is the highest. The percentile is the percent of people that are below you. So 99th percentile.
What's the people that are above you?
I mean, that's the top 1%. Like the top percent. I don't know.
Okay,
like
so
if you're in the top 5, you're in 95%.
So we're in the top 20%. If you're in the 80th percentile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, because 80% of the people are below you, you're within the top 20% is higher.
Okay, right.
That's too much of a gap. But like I mean,
so
like I still feel like if we started earlier and we took things differently, like we didn't spend as much time playing video games, and because we didn't have the ability to, and we had a mental fortitude to just hit the gym because that was our only way of dealing with everything. I mean, think about Derrick Rose's upbringing. Derrick Rose grew up in like 12 siblings and single mom in Chicago.
He was born with crazy. Bro, he used to. I read this report. He used to eat like 2 pounds of candy every day in high school.
His sweet tooth is insane.
You can't tell me that's not. There's no nurture there. There's no nutrition there. He was just already physically just a freak.
Just
all
the
these guys who
environment.
came up, where's
Just the
nurture?
environment that they had to grow up in.
Yeah, exactly. You're proving our point. Like they weren't getting nurtured by the best people. Like all these famous basketball players, Michael Jordan's sons, they suck ass. They had no mental fortitude. They had all the training in the world.
But it's the mental fortitude.
And
they have the same genetics.
Which I could also argue.
They have the same
talent.
genetics.
Well, they don't have identical genetics because there's 2 people that make a kid.
I mean, like you have like LeBron that like trained Bronny and Bryce their whole life, but then you have Dwayne Wade that didn't do with their child.
Well, that's just how life works. I mean, not everyone is born the same way.
Now, one of Dwayne Wade's kids did play at Sierra Canyon. He wasn't that good.
He'd still blow us all off the court.
Yeah.
He didn't have the gifts.
Yeah.
He got the training.
Like Bryce James, like Rosie, he's just so tall now. Bronny's like probably way like more skilled than him, but Bronny's just everyone in the comments is like, oh, Bronny has the real shot now just because of how tall he is and like how much bigger he is than Bronny. But Bronny's obviously like the more developed and like I think even like just more highly developed IQ wise, but that's just how it is.
I mean, Bryce has the athleticism, that's for sure. But I mean, Bryce is pretty athletic too. Yeah. He didn't grow as tall.
You mean Bronny?
Bronny's probably stronger than Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would assume so based off their looking at their body types.
Yeah. But no, Bryce is taller.
But yeah, LeBron number 1. Still, yeah, I still argue still.
I can't argue that. No cap.
He just maybe just doesn't have the defensive stamina now to like go on the team's best player. But that's about it.
I have to take Zion out because he gets hurt all the time.
I was about to put I was thinking of Anthony Davis, but then he also gets hurt. Like, because he's just so talented everywhere.
He is. Yeah.
Like, what can he not do? He can handle it like a guard.
Oh wait,
he can jump out the gym.
Basically, just pass. That's the only thing.
So I had Tatum, I had Kyrie, and I had KD. Honorable mention Jokic.
I would disagree, but he is amazing.
Jokic is all skill.
Yeah.
Not his only talent, I'd say, is his height and then his like that Serbian strength. But he can't jump.
I mean, he's a top 3 player in the league, though, no doubt.
Top 1, if you ask me.
I think we'll find out in the playoffs. I can't make my list until like the playoffs happen. That's where like you prove it for real.
Yeah.
Because like these players are so good that you're like trending on a fine line of who's better. But like once it hits playoff times, you get a best of like 7.
The decision can be literally made on like a 0.1 difference in points per game.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I mean, propagate over 82 games. That's 8 points more.
We're talking about the playoffs.
Well, yeah, it's different.
7 game series between Nuggets Bucks. I think we can figure out who is the best player in the world.
Interesting. Who said the Bucks and who?
The
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Because Giannis and Jokic are they're in their tier of their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so tall and strong. Like, it's really hard to put up against them. I mean, saying that, I think the Cavs have a good chance of at least containing Giannis with both Jared Allen and Evan Mobley in the paint.
Yeah, but the Bucks have built around it. So you contain Giannis and then you give up 1,000 open 3-pointers.
I mean, maybe the Cavs are a good stylistic matchup. You never know, actually.
Okay, take Jared Allen, Evan Mobley in the paint to deal with Giannis. You cover Chris Middleton. Cover Drew Holiday.
Who's going to cover Middleton or Holiday?
Okay,
I just said that.
Okay, so if Allen
You got Donovan Mitchell and you got Darius Garland.
if Allen and Mobley
they're
are
both like 6'3"
both in
below.
the paint, then someone is wide open on the 3-point line.
Doesn't always have to be a 3-point line. They can cover.
Okay, so then there's one person in the paint, and Giannis takes you to the rim.
I mean, literally, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley literally just run the baseline the whole time.
So you give up open corner 3.
No, they're
One of the
running.
most high percentage.
No,
shots.
so all right, so
Lopez
like, it goes to
is
like let's say Evan Mobley's on the left block, and Jared Allen's on the right block.
So
It goes to the left corner, then he's going out to cover the corner, and then the right block is like the weak side's coming over to deal with Giannis.
and they're both bad perimeter defenders. So if they go out to the perimeter, that's an
But it's in the corner. If they come up to the top, then that's where Donovan Mitchell and
One pump
Darius
fake by
Garland.
Middleton. He blows by one of them.
Donovan Mitchell and Darius.
Why would they
Garland.
jump? They're way taller. Why would they jump?
No, but like just they're like agility wise, if they run out, they're running and they have to stop all their weight. Chris Middleton just loops around them.
They're long enough that if they want to
bounce past the Giannis and dunk it.
But then you got the weak side coming over.
You're still like committing
then you
two
give up a
guys
lob.
to like focusing
That's
around
the,
Giannis.
that, I mean, you're basically describing, or we're describing the problem everyone has playing Giannis, and then they try.
I mean,
to
yeah,
cover
it
for
just, it just
and then-
creates holes in defense and like
Yeah.
the rotations. Like you have to perfectly rotate every possession, and it's just like that's just how
strategy.
basketball works,
Yeah,
anyways.
it's a back and forth.
That's just
I don't think it's that hard. I think that it's perfectly applicable to double Giannis.
yeah, but you're committing two guys to him, so that opens up. It's a 4-on-3 basically in the other side.
Yeah, you're giving up like a role player shooting threes occasionally, but even then, you're still kind of
The
putting
Bucks
pressure
are
on
a
him.
good team, other than Giannis too.
I know, but all right, so you got Chris Middleton, you got Drew Holiday.
Brooke Lopez,
Brooke
Connaughton,
Lopez.
DiVincenzo. I mean,
You
they've
could
won
do-
a title.
DiVincenzo's on the Warriors now. Yeah, DiVincenzo,
You can deal with it.
Javon Carter.
Giannis is worth that extra effort.
I mean, yeah.
Compared to
I mean, that's
DiVincenzo,
what they have
come on.
to do. I mean, yeah, but
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that you sacrifice. That's why the Bucks do so good. Why isn't every team doing the same thing?
But
They
you
do.
can still do, because they don't have Jared Allen and Evan Mobley.
I don't think that matters. They don't have the
Yeah.
speed. Match him in transition as well. Oh, he's flying by Jared Allen. Goodbye, Jared Allen. Come on now. Goodbye.
I mean, transition would be hard for sure.
Mobley has a shot, but he's still too young too. Giannis is gonna. He'll fight. Like I think Mobley will have his moments, but
Yeah.
Giannis will definitely show him.
Mobley has
Who's still a
potential
big
for
man
sure.
on the block.
I can't. He went like third or something, right?
Mobley, yeah.
That
Who
went
went in front
above
of
him?
him?
Anthony Edwards, I think. LaMelo Ball.
Yeah,
No,
I think it was
sounds
Ant
right.
and Lamelo.
Sounds right.
I mean, both those picks they aren't bad picks, but Mobley has the potential. I mean, Anthony Edwards' potential
I'm a
is
LaMelo
insane.
hater. I will always say, fucking LaMelo Ball, bad pick. Any of the balls.
Well, yeah, we know Leandro.
I mean, no one knew. I mean, no one knew that Alonzo and Lamelo were going to be as
Actually,
injured
it was-
as they are.
It was Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green over Mobley.
Jalen Green
I mean, it's a different draft class.
over Mobley
You're thinking of the wrong draft class.
for Ant and Lamelo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, that was on Wiseman, was it?
Ugh, yeah, Wiseman was that.
Wiseman was a bust.
So Cade and Jalen Green, and then Mobley.
Cade's pretty good. And then the Pistons got like Jalen Duren, and they have lots of centers.
I mean-
but dude, Jalen Green.
Yeah, I don't know how he's been playing, to be honest. I haven't heard much.
I mean,
He plays for
I don't
Rockets,
think he's been
right?
bad though. He hasn't been bad, right?
just no defense. And then I think he's like a streaky scorer.
He plays for Rockets.
Yeah.
I mean, like
But
he's
they
a high
give-
flyer. It's
Like
basically
a
it.
20 points a game type guy for his career. He's gonna be that type of guy.
Maybe. They give him all the shots he wants though, so I don't know if like how efficient he is. I think given how young he is, he's probably a turnover
Wemby on the
machine.
Pistons would be Cade.
Cade,
That
Wemby,
would be a good pairing.
Duren.
Duren, Killian Hayes.
I mean, I think that's
Jaden
what
Ivey.
they're definitely banking on that right now.
Oh,
Cause
yeah, Ivy is going to be the
Oh,
star
yeah,
of the
they-
show.
Shit. If I was Wemby, I'd actually want to go to Detroit as like the realistic options.
They're so young.
I'm not trying to go to San Antonio and be by myself getting bitched around.
Well, I don't know if he has a choice.
Houston's a met. Well, yeah, I'm
Obviously
saying, but
doesn't.
like of the lottery teams that have like the best shot, Detroit's probably should be his number one.
Houston is such a shit show.
Yeah,
Like,
Houston's
I
just
don't
like
like-
a
I don't
mess. Just from all the trades and just I don't know.
Seems like there's always a lot like drama going on.
You're not getting any collateral for any of the trades that they do. Like, the second they get a good player and then they go, they don't get much in return. They don't get any youth. They don't get any future potential.
They get hella picks
Okay, so when do those picks come through?
in the years to come.
That's going to take time. So, I mean, at the moment, they're awful. Hopefully those picks make them better. But at the moment, it's not the most desirable spot to go to.
I think the James Harden era will be the best thing they have in the next like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, they also had,
I wouldn't say 2030 just because it's so easy sometimes. And
I mean, they also had Akeem Olajuwon, so like you gotta think of their history, but
I'm talking best, not greatest. An average NBA team today smacks the shit out of a team
why
in
did
the
Chris
90s.
Paul have to get hurt? They would have beat the Warriors that
I don't
year.
care.
That
I
one
don't
year.
care. The fucking 4C today will. Dude, they're smacking the 96 Bulls in 4 or 5.
Under what officiating? The 96 officiating or
Any
today's
officiating.
officiating?
I think any officiating as well.
I don't.
People over exaggerate the officiating in the 90s. Like I've seen clips of them just calling like simple fouls. They act like they never existed. Like just simple things on like Jordan, like it's just a normal whistle, but they like just act like the only fouls that are being called is when dudes are getting like railed.
Well,
Like, that's just not true.
Even if the officiating was like that, the average player today is way more physically gifted than the average player back then. So that comes into effect on like a larger scale.
Not quite sure.
Well, I
Who'd
am.
the 4 seed be? Or we just take the Cavs are the 4 seed.
Cavs and so it's Nuggets, Kings,
Yeah,
Memphis.
it's Phoenix is the 4 seed.
It's the Phoenix.
Oh yeah, Phoenix is.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
That's-
They're scoring 200 points a game.
MJ's still locking his dude though. I'll be honest, but
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
and Pippen will still hold his own probably, but I think everyone else on that team is getting bitched around.
But they're gonna abuse the shit out of Dennis Rodman. He's actually a defensive or
He's offensive.
he's an
liability.
offensive liability.
I mean, yeah, it's just a 4-on-5
Yeah.
because he can't shoot he can't do anything offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's still a great defender. And I don't know.
He's a defensive asset,
Yeah.
is what I meant to say.
I think just over the court, yeah, and then just with the 3-point ability because there's just so much like those would be raining threes down.
I never thought I'd ever see the Kings be the number 2 seed in the West.
3 seed.
I thought you were
Yeah.
2.
Memphis is 2.
Nuggets, Memphis. Really still? I thought he went on a big losing streak.
Memphis is like 4 games ahead of Sac.
Yeah, but
They have a good cushion. There's a lot of all the West teams are kind of huddled up together. Kings are a couple games in the 3 though.
Oh yeah, that was like
Even when the Grizzlies lose a lot, like a lot of other teams go on streaks as well. So
yeah, there was like a graphic yesterday they had on where it was like a horse race, like from 4 to 10 seed, they're all within like 5 games of each other.
Yeah, something like that.
Lakers win 5 in a row, bro. They can beat the fucking 6 seed, 5 seed tomorrow.
I know. The Nuggets and the Nuggets, Bucks, and Celtics are clearly the best teams in the NBA right now. They're in a tier of their own.
Sixers have Doc Rivers, so they can't be there.
I remember Doc Rivers used to be so good, but he also had like 4 Hall of Famers.
He was never so good. I'm not gonna say he was bad, but the team was very good.
Well, there was a report that said that the strategy that they used to beat the Lakers in the 2011 finals, an assistant coach came up with it. So
Mike Budenholzer won a fucking title as well.
yeah,
So.
oh my god, people don't even understand how lucky the Bucks got. Not just in that Game 7 with the Nets, but the whole the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Do you know how unlikely it is for the Giannis-less Bucks to beat the fully healthy Hawks that year?
Yeah.
How the fuck did that happen? How?
I mean, Hawks are trash.
We were good that year. How did that happen?
Hawks are trash. That means every other team that didn't make it there was super
Even
trash.
worse, yeah. What was the first series we played? Oh, we smacked the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when Trae Young became a legend. And he's been down ever since.
There's a Spider-Man dude drinking Henny, and they're all just yelling after
We
him.
need more people to just talk shit to Trae during games. Maybe that's the problem.
Ice cold.
The problem is he's getting paid now and he doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, money ruins people.
Ruins team. Like,
There's no more drive.
we
Yeah.
need those immigrants.
Facts.
Those are cool.
That's why those Europeans are so good.
It was a cool psychological experiment where they had these kids that they like to draw, right? So they're like, all right, draw for me. Like, how much do you enjoy that? And they're like, I liked it a lot. They're like, okay, well, like you're doing stuff, like you're producing these drawings for me, so I want to pay you $1 for your drawings. And they're like, oh, even better. I'm getting paid to do something I like doing for fun. And then all of a sudden they stop paying them, and all of a sudden the kids don't like to draw anymore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, that's pretty applicable in a sense of,
I
like,
find that surprising.
now, like, Trae Young did the thing that he loves, and he played really well, and all that, and then now he's getting paid way too much money,
Yeah.
and now he's nothing to drive for.
I mean, yeah.
Be like that.
You see it in tennis all the time. there's a reason why there's no more tennis players after Djokovic and Nadal and Federer. Because like once like that guy who won the U.S. Open is 19. He's been a downward spiral ever since he's made the hella money.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he's still like the no, he's not. He's still the number 2 guy in the world, but like he hasn't come close to like winning anything, and like he's been injured all the time. He looks like he's just like not focused anymore. Like he just doesn't have that drive.
What was his name?
Carlos Alcaraz.
Alcaraz. Yeah.
Do you think if Magnus Carlsen got paid like a lot of money that he'd be worse at chess?
He already makes hella money.
Relative to the average person.
Chess is different. You don't get. I don't think you get worse at chess.
I think
It's
you get more
there
ambitious.
is a lot of preparation for those like top. Like there's a lot of preparation as well, along with the like.
Okay, so he does get worse. He can get worse because he just doesn't prepare.
I mean, like, yeah, people can also, you can get cocky, you can get more ambitious, you can get a little loose, you can trade more pieces.
He'll always be like top 500. Like his mind is just.
Well, he's
the
number
way it
1.
is. He'll always be like top 100 in the world, but if he starts like being slacking off, he could easily like fall to like number 10. There's those people that are just there's always coming in for that.
They're hungry.
Chinese guy's I think the Chinese guy like Ding Liren's like number 2. Like there's just a bunch of other people.
Then you got Gotham Chess.
He's not even a grandmaster. I challenged Gotham Chess 1-on-1.
He is the most entertaining. Gotham Chess is the goat.
Magnus
is the boat.
Gotham Chess is the best for like general audience. He's like the translator basically, because like he's an international master. He has the knowledge to like understand everything that the grandmasters are doing. Not as fast, of course. Otherwise, like he would be playing with them as well. But you know, you get my point.
Don't talk to a girl. Got it. So I move the pawn to you.
I love that one.
Do not talk to a girl.
Okay, so we got this.
I love that one.
All right. Well, we spent an hour and 6 minutes debating on if talent or if nature or nurture gets you to professional sporting leagues. And
NBA in particular.
The NBA in particular. And I'm gonna end
Special
this
guest Theo Vaughn next week.
now. Yo, Theo, shout out. Come to our pod. Okay, bye.
Gang.